Okay, y'all, so I am going to be doing the Kingston dress, and I will also be doing the Kingston in the baby. They have a with the romper, so it's gonna be like a two part thing. So we're gonna do the dress today, dress this week, and then I will post for how to do the romper next week. So y'all just stay tuned. So I have my pattern piece cut out already. I have my, this will be my skirt, lace, because I want to put the lace on the collar here. This is my back bodice, that's my front pieces. I have the mane and the lining. My placket piece, sleeves, buttons, my gauge here, I'll post that in the description, and some pins, and I cannot forget buttons, and here I have the interfacing. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so let's start by constructing our collar pieces. Now, I am going to be adding lace to mine. This is optional, you don't have to do it, but that's what I'm going to do. But if you are not adding lace, all you would do is just right size together your lace, your mane, and your lining, and you just do your 1/2 inch sew allowance, clip around along this edge here, trim off around the edge here, and then turn it and iron it, and then you're done. But since I'm adding lace here, which is really pretty, see that. But since I'm adding lace, I'm doing something different. So what I did was here, if you could see, I just did a basting stitch along my collar here, on one of my collars, and that would be the main collar. Okay, so I just did a basting stitch along the main collar, right? On both of them. I did this because I want to give my lace a guide. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line my lace. Let me show you. I will line my lace on top of this basting stitch. And I will baste this on all the way around. I don't have it facing this way because this is where my seam allowance is. So I have it facing, you know, the opposite way here. So I'm just going to baste this lace all the way around on both of my collar pieces, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have attached basted my lace on my collar here, just like that. And so what I'll do next is, now we're just going to take the lining and we're going to lay this on top of, right sides together, of my lace piece here, just like that. So I have it pinned, so what I'll do is I'm just going to take this to my machine and I'm going to do a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And since I'm adding the lace, and you remember me doing the basting stitch, I am going to sew on top of that basting stitch here. Okay, I'm going to sew on top of that, so that'll be my guide for me to attach my lace on my collar, and I'll be back. To take this to my machine, and I will sew along this back edge here, because this will not be enclosed. So we're going to enclose this back end, and we're going to sew all the way around the curve here. But this open part right here, this part along the neckline will be open. So we're going to sew this. Oh, look at that. This is adorable. Look at that. So cute. I love it. Okay, so grab your bodice pieces, your front and your back, mane and lining. And also grab your interfacing. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of your front bodice pieces here. I need to iron that out. And we are going to take our back piece here. Let's say this is our mane. Okay, our main bodice. And we're going to put that right sides together. Just like that. And we're going to sew here along the shoulder seams. Let's pin. Okay, so I have my bodice pieces pinned together at the shoulder seams. I will do a 1/2 inch seam allowance on both, and then I will be back. Alright, so I have attached my shoulder seams on both my main and my lining of my bodice, and I also went ahead and ironed on my interfacing here, and I just pretty much just measured 1/2 inch from the raw ends, and then attached and then ironed on my interfacing on the wrong side of my main bodice. So let's go to our next step. Now flip your bodice right side up, just like that, and grab your collar pieces. And what you're gonna do is we're gonna lay our collar piece on top of our main bodice here, just like that. Okay, so I have based my collar on my top. So now I'll just grab my liner piece here, and I'm going to put this right sides together here. Match up my shoulder seams here, and what I'll do is I'm going to pin along the back, both back sides, along this side, or along the neckline, and back around the back. Alright, okay, so I took this to my iron and I pulled it to the right side out and I pressed it. So what I'll do next is we're going to connect our bodice, our front and back bodice piece. So just take the front of your bodice and match it with the right side front of your back bodice. Now take the back of your bodice pieces and you put those right side together, just like that. Okay. Now just take take it to your machine, do your 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I will also press my side seams open. Alrighty, so my bodice is my bodice part is done. Now let's start on our sleeves. So grab your sleeve pieces. I have already taken my sleeves to the iron, getting it prepped to hem. What I did was I fold the raw end 1/4 inch, and I then did another 1/4 inch on the bottom of my sleeves on both of them. So I'm just gonna open that up, grab my sleeve, take my sleeve, and I'm gonna put those right sides together, okay? And that was just a memory fold, so when I hem, and I'm gonna pin. And I'm also gonna do this same step for my other sleeve. So I'm gonna take this to my machine and do a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I will also serge my raw ends. If you do not have a serger, you just do your zigzag stitch off the edge, on the edge of your sleeve. And I'll be back. I have sewn my sleeve pieces together, and I also went ahead and hemmed the bottom of it. All right, get your ruler and just measure 2 inches from each side, from the center. So here's the center. I'll put it here, and that's 1, 2 up here, and 2 here. Okay, I'll do that for the next one. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this to my machine and do 2 gathering stitches along this part here. And alright, so I got my bodice here, All right, and I'm gonna turn this wrong side out, just like that, okay? Turn my body wrong side out. Now, I will get one of my sleeve pieces here, and I am going to, and this is on the right side, my sleeve piece is right here, is on the right side. And I'm going to take this piece here, my sleeve piece, and I'm going to put it inside of, this is the right side of my bodice, matching the underarm seams here. I'm going to pin along all the way until I get to my 2 gathering stitches, and then I will gather my sleeve up to fit here at the top part here. So let's do that, and I'll do this for my for the other side also, my other sleeve. And now this is what I have here. This is where my gathering stitches are. So I'm just gonna gather those. I'm gonna take the bottom threads here, and I'm just going to pull them so they can fit my shoulder seam here. So just pull on both sides. Take both of them and pull, see, just like that. And give it an even finish. And now it's even. So now I just pin. All right, that is all pinned. So we'll do this for the other side. Alrighty, so let's take this to the machine. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna take this to the machine, do my 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I will also serge off my raw ends, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so our bodice is done. Now let's construct our skirt. All right, now let's start on our skirt. All right, take one of your skirt pieces here. Put this one to the side, and it's on the fold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my skirt piece, get my ruler, and I am going to measure down on this fold here, because this is going to be the back, 3 inches, and I'm going to make my mark. Okay, just like that, because we're gonna make the placket for the back of our skirt. So now, so we measure down our 3 inches here. Get your scissors, okay, grab your scissors and cut along this seam here. And when you get to your stopping point, then cut here like you're gonna make like a little W, and then cut over here on this side, just like that. All right, just like that, okay? Okay, so I have my, I've lined my placket piece here on the right side of my placket here. I got that on the wrong side of my fabric, okay? So I'm going to take this to the machine and do my 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have my placket piece attached to my skirt, and I'm just going to fold the raw ends up here, and then I also will fold my placket down about a 1/2 inch, and I'll iron it, and then I'll fold it on top of it just like that. Okay, show you this again. You would iron or straighten up your placket opening here, just like that. Fold like a 1/2 inch, and then fold it again on top to enclose that raw end. And then you'll just sew along here with the straight stitch, okay? And you'll clip off this little excess, and I'll be. Okay, so now what I'll do is I have my placket piece. This is the right side of my fabric. I'm just going to fold one of my placket piece into the wrong side, and I'll just do a basting stitch along here. So then when I close it, it will make a nice little, you see, it's really nice when it closes. And I'll be back. All right, so grab your other skirt piece, and we're gonna put it together. All right, right sides together. And what I'll do is I will pin along my side seams here, and I will also serge, and then I will also just hem the bottom of my skirt piece here also, okay? And I will be back. Okay, so I have gathered my skirt. I'm going to place my bodice, since it's on the right side, to the right side of my skirt. I'm just gonna stick it in there just like that, okay? All right, and then I'm going to get this pin out, grab my pins also, and I'm going to match the back bodice piece here to the back of my placket here. All right, and I'm going to also match my side seam here to the side seam of my skirt. And I'm going to do that with the other side also, okay? So get my piece. Bam, just like that. And grab my side seam, that's this side seam here. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my skirt to my bodice, okay? So let's do that. Okay, so I have it pinned together, so I'm just going to sew to attach, and I'm going to also serge my raw ends, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have attached my skirt, and I've also did a top stitch, which is super, like, that's optional. You do whatever you want to do. I just decided to do it. Now I am going to put my buttons on. Yeah, we're gonna put the buttons on today, baby. Well, tonight. Okay. Got my button gauged here. Gauge. And I am going to, let's see, because I don't want to go that far up. I'm gonna do like 4 buttons here, okay? Just like that. Let me get my pin here. And I am going to mark where I want my buttons to be. Okay. Now with this pin here, all I have to do is just put the iron on it, and baby, it'll be gone. So okay. So now let's do the scary part. Let's put these buttons on. All right, and we are done. This is so stinking adorable. I just love it. So cute. Now you guys, so we're done with this one, but if you want to learn how to make this Kingston dress, but for your little babies, you want it to be a romper, stay tuned for the next video. See ya.